So hi people. Um so some might be asking like, yo, why'd you got that hat on? Because it's quarantine time and I've not been to my barbers in time. And I like this hat, so yeah. But anywho, it's a long video to go, man. But I cool. I'm gonna go for the long video as well because people said they decided they wanted a long video, so I'm just gonna choose the long video. Um, Let me just. Do you know what? Yeah, man, don't care about all that. Oh no, try my nothing. It's like I'm mad. But anyway, I cool. Hold up. Nah, cool. Hold on. I can't even take myself serious. I cool now. It's a bit more. Oh, should I put my? Hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anywho, so if you came here, it's because you want to hear my testimony on how, like, Ronnie became a Christian or turned his life back to Christ. Da 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 da, da 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 da. With that being said, oh, noted to verses that came for the people that read the Bible, right? For the Christians, Revelation 12:11 says, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their life to the death." And then I think there was John 3:3, which I can't remember right now, but if you write it down, you'll know what that verse means, right? Now, hello guys, for the ones that don't know me yet, I'm Rodney, French, Congolese, rep Congo, obviously. And yeah, like, how should I start? Okay, cool. I'm gonna start with from my young age, I was brought up in a Christian family. So in my family, like my mother's always been like a Christian. She's always worshipped God, and there was time when I was a kid that like there was certain situations that happened, right, which just I was close to God, right? What I mean I was close to God is like we'd go church all the time, we'd praise, sing, praise God or whatever, right? And I remember when I was a kid, like there was so much, so much. For the one that know the stories of me before, like I became grown up to be who I am today, they'll know that there's a few mad stories still. But with that being said, there was a time when I was a kid, and this part will come back on later on. When I was a kid, like through all the pain or whatever, and like we used to go to Bible study, right? So we'd go Bible study and you'd hear this story about, oh, God spoke to David, God spoke to Moses, God spoke to Abraham in all these mighty ways. And I'm thinking, raw, like, jeez, what if God could speak to me? Like, do you know how sick that'd be? Now, one time during like, I don't know, man, I was in pain or whatever, and I prayed and I asked God, God, please, like, all I need of you is just speak to me. Let me hear you like this mighty man heard you in their life. And that's it. I will serve you. I will know that you're real. I will know that you're true. And I will serve you. Now, like, growing up in a Christian family, one thing I would say is I had faith, right? But it wasn't based, or it wasn't strong faith, because I was like, okay, no, I believe in the higher power. I believe in God, right? But it was like I didn't understand or comprehend his effect in my life, right? Now, around like 2011, from France, we moved to Glasgow, right? We came to Glasgow, and there was still so much happening in my life, right? Where I hit a stage of rebellion, right? I was like, I cool. Do you know what? Like, yeah, like I've prayed to you, God. I've worked your way. I've walked your path as a kid, and you've not answered to me. You've not responded to me. So part of me was just like, yeah, man, I'ma just do me. Like everybody does them. Do you know what I mean? So why can I not just do me? So that was the mindset. I go into high school, and high school is where like my rebellion was. Like I was rebellious. Like I'll just mess about, cause trouble, just love being in trouble, love being the bad crowd, love always just do me pretty much. A kid like just messing about. And then like I got more, like I had already my story like with girls, but I was like, see, when you're a kid you have your story with girls, but there's too much playing about to happen that you don't really focus about girls. When I got to high school, man, I'm thinking, yo, I seen this shorty one time. I was like, well, actually, I started acting moving mad at the start actually already, man. One Snapchat came up, man. Everyone was on the Snapchat thing. I was on the Snapchat thing. I didn't even got to go see. I missed the BBM area just because, like, I was present during it, but it's just because I didn't get like a BlackBerry until later on. So I was like, rah, everyone's not even on BBM no more. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Anywho, so yeah, man. So galleys, man. I start like, getting to galleys until like I eventually got in a relationship, and then there was just all sorts of madness that happened within, and like I just started seeking galleys. The one thing that's true, like there's like it's just galleys, bro. Yeah, man, just trying to, you know what I mean? So with that being said, it led to, without noticing it, right, I was just like doing little sins, right, which I didn't realize that affected me longer going on, like going into a shop, like, what, tutti sweets and that, yeah, let me just bump that, let me just steal it, and obviously there's many things that plays into it, right? There's like peer pressure, there's like, oh bro, like, oh bro, I'm gonna take that, you gonna take that, like, cool, do you know what I mean? We're just gonna take, and and it led to like, from, and it always builds up like this. It leads from like my stealing. I stopped that long ago, right? But without knowing it, me already starting doing this little stealing led my life more down of a life of crime without knowing it yet, right? Because you'd steal small stuff and then you want to go bigger, just a little bigger, It goes from seats to I don't know, charger to earphones to and then so yeah, but like even those at time, okay, cool. The stealing actually led quite bad until the time I was just being rebellious, me being me, and then I reached around like the end of high school, right? Now, around the end of high school is when stuff kicked in. Why do I mean stuff kicked in, right? It started kicking in because like just PP era, man. Everyone that know PP, everyone that went PP knew that like PP was mad back in, like, it's still active, but since they took off the horn and everything, it's just not what it was. But anywho, just bear drinking, right? Like drinking and stealing was so bad in the point where like we're like, what? Bare people are asking for jumping and that. It's, you don't realize, like, people always ask for jumping, but you were already so used to stealing so much stuff, yeah. And they'll be like, yo, okay, I'll go into the shop. We'll take it, like, do you know what I mean? And it came to the point where like it was even normal for other people to like, oh, can you bump me this? It's like, hi, I got you. But see, if I had an even smarter mindset right then, I would have made people pay for me for taking. What are you? Let that go. So yeah, like stealing is bad. Don't steal, right? Don't steal. But yeah, like, cool. So I don't know, man. It was like PB time. Like what? Just beer drinking, drinking, and then the drinking. One thing, yeah. Okay. There's one time, right? Like it was so mad. Everyone, if you know them time, you know the tan for tan, right? So I take a tan, I give you a tan, or whatever drink I have, you have a drink and a tan for tan. Do you know what I mean? Oh, stupid I was back then. This little you, yeah, can't even remember who it was, but he's a tan, right? Now I don't know till this day, right? For a long time, I thought that it was Mandy, right? Okay, pause. In my mind, I thought, yeah, it was Mandy, right? And since, okay, I was spiked, right? As in tan for tan, I drank it, right? And then next thing I know, I didn't even feel my body. Boom! I just fall back. I get back up. I'm like, what up? Boom! Fall right forward. Like I had no control of my body. I'm like, what is this madness? But then, me thinking it was Mandy, after I was like, school, I already tried it. So then I can go buy some and go down that path. And then that took me a path which I realized later on that was not me. Oh, also, I was already smoking like weed, you know what I mean? Powerful weed, like smoking weed. We had already been smoking weed for time. And the other thing with smoking weed that had led me to smoking fags, which, sorry, yeah, I know like there's people that smoke fags, but sorry, man, it's disgusting. It's in the mind, because I'm like, for times I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna stop smoking these fags, and next thing you know, I'm staying back there talking this cancer stick, like, why am I smoking this? Do you get me? Like, what? I was just tapped in the head, man. But yeah, like So the drinking, but see, without knowing, like, I cool. Now I think that the thing that the guy had spiked me was kept, right? Like, from I spoke to people that took care in this, but I don't know. I don't know till this day. I don't know what kind of drug that was, but it had me mashed up. And then for that time, what literally all I do is steal, drink, have galley problems like mad. Oh, also, yeah, I know I'm just being real with you, right? Like, this is how I speak, right? So, um, yeah, like, so I'm just, yeah, anywho. So, like, just girl problem, right? Girl problem. And like, those beef, or just beef with this guy, that, oh, this guy, like, my whole life, this guy's just been onto man, like, he's not even been onto man like that, he's just been always there. And like, what I didn't know, the anger I had for that guy got built into a mad hate, which, like, listen, what I'm gonna say here is, what I've learned is, see if anything bad happens to you, learn to forgive, right? Because as much as I like acted up, like, yeah, I don't care, inside me I had one anger for one guy, and that turned into a hate. Like, the hate was so strong and powerful, like, just hearing his name will make me vex, like, I'm just so mad. But during that time also, like, so I'm going down a path of like drugs, alcohol, right? And like, I became deeply depressed. When I mean deeply depressed, like, for the one, and it is an illness, like, see, for the ones who are going through depression, like, yo, I was being there. You know, you even, I wasn't much of a cutter, yeah. I wasn't much of a cutter. I was more like, two burns and that, but that's in the past. But even that, like, that wasn't enough, to the point where, like, I had distanced myself from my family, right? And I was like, oh, there's a few times I tried commit, right? And well, yeah, I tried commit because, yeah, I tried commit because obviously I'm still alive, so I don't know. But anywho, and that, like, see, the time where I was okay, I'll just give a little snippet, right? There was a time I was like, cool, I was so suicidal. I distanced myself from my family and pretty much like went to the train station to like kill myself, pretty much, yeah. And like, with that being said, to this day, well, now I understand why I'm still alive, because what happened was mad to me. It just was mad. But then I now understand that was God work within my life, like. But that is a testimony, a story for another time, like. But yes, so like, depression, just, I just feeling so down, and just like, hold on, just, you can all my notes, right? Yeah, like, just feeling so down, and just, I was just gone. And even just before that, right, like, even high school, man, there was like, those things, yeah, that God like made me understand later on, like, now, that some, I just had at times, yeah, I'm like, I've always been like one lucky guy, but it's not luck, it's God's blessing upon someone. But well, God's favor. But there was just like times where I got bad luck. I'm like, what? Like, deep this, right? Just deep this. I had Bell palsy twice, right? And the first time was like around I was 17. That's a whole story for another time as well. Like, I think I might just crumble all this like bad luck in that in one story. But long story cut short, Bell palsy is like a facial stroke, right? So like, it's a stroke, but just in the face, and where like my whole nerves died. Like, they didn't work. And it hit me twice. And the doctor was like, what? You're 17. That hit people when they're like in the late 20s, or not even the 30s and over up. Do you know what I mean? How? And then the first time it hit me, he was bare shook. The second time I came back, he was like, nah, I don't understand. But then, but like, what I didn't realize is around high school, like, taking the Eckies. Oh yeah. Do you know what? No. What I thought once was just like a little Mandy, right? Got me to take like a bit of coke, right? And coke was chill, like what? And I'm gonna tell you honestly, like, yo, I was gone. I was tapped back then. Got me to take Eckies, like actually Eckies. Now, I did not know like how sins like work, right, until now I know. But it's like it's just you sin, right, and you think that's so small, like you don't it's a little sin, but then you live more in sin and your sin just get greater and bigger. And it went from me actually taking blood clot Eckies, yo. People take Eckies one time that boom, they gone. And I was taking Eckies. Like, big ups, bare people take it, bare people enjoy it. But for me, yeah, and I'm speaking this from my experience, the alcohol I took, the weed I was smoking, the alcohol and the drugs I took, this was all to fill a void within me. Like, there was no peace, there was no happiness, right? And like the crazy thing is at the time, yeah, I would be like, yo, everyone know I would be the happiest guy. You look at me, I'm always smiling, I'm always laughing, right? But within me, pain. I was literally in pain. I was like it's pain and anger. But I don't know how. I still don't know how well I managed to like just like act fine all the time, always laughing, always just trying to see the better side and the greater side of thing when inside me I was gone. And then that led to leaving high school. Oh boy. When I left high school, that was when like I just went even more downhill. Like I went so downhill that like sometime during that transition I had lost Rodney. Like for the one that met me like I don't know when I was young or that knew me, like that knew the joyful life given Rodney, he was still there, right? But I was just being changed. Like all this sin, I was just being changed into this person which like boy, just like I was tapped. I was literally tapped. Um um Drugs, you know. Like one thing I say, yeah, I cool. Leaving high school, my life just went down a life of crime. But it was up to me. I kind of embraced it as well. I don't know why I didn't see or realize, right? But basically, long story short, for the one that know pretty much everyone, right? Like obviously my whole that might also have to go in another testimony because it's long, but on how basically the anger I had, the anger I withhold within myself, right? I let it turn to hate. And like I'd act so no boy, I'm not even gonna go in detail to the things that happened, right? It was like it's little words, you know. I've realized something. It's little words, little words and little things that just get at you. You don't even realize it, but they get so deep within you, and it just builds up your rage. It's like adding there's a fire, and you just add like petrol or fire liquid onto the fire, pretty much, to the point where that anger I had turned into pure hate. I hated to an extreme length or point where like oh man, I was just so there's just so much violence. I just wanted to like mention his name, let me see that guy right now. And I'm doing oh boy. And I was just tapped. Like I was just living in anger, living in pain, being lost. Everything was just it was just oh my. But that led me to obviously at the time which I glorified, right? Which I don't really glorify now because like my mindset has totally changed. But the first drilling, you know, for the drillers or the ones that do drillings that watch this, for the first drilling, boy man, so much things went wrong. So much things went wrong. But afterward I started to understand why certain things went wrong, and I mean it's life, right? But so much thing went wrong, and that led to like just deep this mindset, right? This mindset is how tapped it was at the time. The drilling happened, right? The day after, man went chilled with the guys, went enjoy the sun, weather, everything was nice, just happy day, like nothing happened. The day after that, That's when the feds start like you start hearing that, yeah, fam. It's looking a bit mad still. But the crazy thing, yeah, I've realized is, see, like once you live in sin or whatever, you build up, right? And everyone does this, like everyone does this. You build up this pride, like big chest, like you just always like got this big chest, like big up this pride, like say something to me, I dare you, like what? I dare you, or do you know? It's always like it's just it's so unnecessary, but you build it up, and it's just pure pride. And like you want to hold that pride until the end, right? And to be honest, it takes, let me say this again, it takes a higher power, God, for that to crumble down and to change someone. Cause so like, yeah, man, boom, like the whole jail situation happened, you know, well, didn't go jail, but it's, I explain it, right? The whole court situation, which for the ones that listen, like it woke me up, right? Because it put me in a position, right, where my mom, I've got so much love for my mom, bare love for my mom. Like to me, my mom is a queen, because from everything that has happened from my youth, from my kid to the Ronnie I am today, like she's always been through me. And on that day of court, right, like just I'm thinking raw, I'm gone. My mom was still there, still like full of faith and belief that man's gonna get back home, do you know what I mean? And then the judge didn't even, hey, the judge was moving nice. I was like, what? Hey, but once again, I understand, and I think I might break it down one day, how everything, yeah, which seemed bad in my life, which turned so good, was God. Oh, man, I even tell the story about in high school how one man, that like a long story as well, but this guy, right, just try poke man a few times, like not even, this guy was going like trying to poke me, swing and everything. And the maddest of thing is the hoodie I wore that day was torn, shredded apart, but my skin itself had nothing but wee dots and that. I was like, raw. Now the story for that one there, the story for that one is, that's God's work in hand. And see, the thing is, I like, see, when you live in sin, one thing that is true though, you're blinded. Like you think you see, and that's the thing, is that pride. That pride, you're like, yeah, I know I'm right. I know I can see. No, you know, you're blind. You are absolutely blind, because I know I was there. I was blind. And this, like, God would show me like his wonders in my life, literally. And it'd be to the point where my mom even told me later on, like, I tell my mom certain things, right? But then my life would, I live it a total certain way. And just because I was blinded. And it's because, like, not only you're blinded, but there's so much into it. You're prideful. You're like, no, I know I'm right. And another thing that a lot of people don't do is, see, if you live in sin or you've been doing sin, you're like, oh, I'm a wait later, you know, to come back to God. This is like for the Christians that are Christian and that like moved away from their faith or stepped away. They're like, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm living in sin right now. I'm gonna come back to God later on. Nonsense. Like he likes you and loves you just the way you are. See, the way you are right now, the mind thoughts and that, like all the thoughts. Wait, yeah, like all the thoughts and everything you have right now. Like one thing I also learned and grew from is like, there's also another one here, and I'm gonna like, see, I'm sharing so that like my life and my testimony, like maybe a seed planted in someone for them to realize like, yo, perhaps my life is moving, I'm living my life way. And do you know what? It's easy. There's gonna be people that listen and not gonna be like, oh, alright, cool, I see what he's talking about, decide to change their ways. There's gonna be people that listen and be like, oh, the minute they're listening, they're like, oh yeah, and then just do the same thing. And there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, nah, deny that, I don't listen to that, what, you know? And I know, because I've been through those stage, and it was like my pride. But yeah, man, like, listen, I'm so blessed who I am today. How like, yo, I went from like just hate acting, being fake that I'm happy and peaceful, to actually being happy and peaceful. And I realized that it was never within my power. It was a higher power, which is God, right? Jesus Christ, which saved me and made me who I am today. But I'm gonna break down onto that because that one was mad. But anyway, so yeah, like all the sin I done, jail and that, and I realized that, like, yo, bare love for my mom. I'm sitting in court or I'm sitting in the yard and I'm seeing my mom cry because, like, she's, listen, you know, see, when this hit me, it's like, I'm not even dead yet, you know, I'm not even dead, but I'm seeing the pain her seeing my life, like, probably being just destroyed, is doing to her. So I was like, yeah, nah, that's not right. Like, although I was prideful and that, or big trust in that, something in me was telling me, like, yo, bro, like, come on. You really want to keep going that pathway where you're going to have your mom crying? And the other thing is, I'm a big brother. I've literally got 2 little sisters and 2 little brothers after me. What example do I show to them? Do you understand? So that just woke me up, man. I was like, yo, Banna. Especially when I was sitting, like, in that place, right, in the courtroom. I'm already baiting too much thing for the testimony, but yeah, like, there was a guy that this guy was moving mad. He turned around to me and was like, oh yeah, they might have attempted murder on you, son. Oh me, I'm this mental and all. I'm sitting there like, what? Are you mad? Like, how long is attempted murder? He goes, oh me, it depends. If you go to high court, it might be from 7 to 10 years. I'm like, bro, you telling me I'm not gonna see my mom and my brothers and that for 7 to 10 years? I move. But now I've learned to move away from my wrong ways. And the day, here comes to it, the juicy part, the saucy part, is the day of my 21st birthday. The day of my 21st birthday, my life did 180 turn. I was moving this way and I just zoom, and it was just gone the other way because everything just changed mad. Around that time, I had already told me I still smoke a power of weed, but I was like, man, I'm trying to stop away from fags, right? And one thing I've realized is, see, people get trapped in this fag thing here is, we smoke weed and you add a bit of tobacco in it, right? Fag, tobacco, cigarette, that's what you know what I mean by that, right? So you add a bit of tobacco in it. Now, it comes to the time where, oh, you ain't got no weed, but you got fags, right? So you're like, I've been smoking this, it's cool. And the next thing you know, you're just smoking it. And then it gets worse because the day where you take out your own money, you take it out and go and pay for, you've told yourself in your mind that, yeah, it's calm for me to spend my pee on cancer stick. And then just gonna keep doing it. So at the time, like, I was like, yeah, but I'm not spending more money on cigarettes no more. I'ma just see, and you know, this as well was like, before even knowing it was just a stealer's mindset. I was like, what? I'm not spending no money for no fag. I know I've got the P to buy fags, but I'm not gonna buy fags. See, if I'm in the presence of someone who's smoking, I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, can I get a fag, bro? Can I get a fag? Even, see, the mad thing is even coming like out of your mouth, like, yo, you got a fag, bro? Can I get, bro? And we done some madness. You don't understand how like, yo, there's times, yeah, you're trying to burn your weed, yeah, and there's no fag around, literally. Or like at the time, yeah, when we were younger, like, you didn't even have the P to go back fag, you didn't even have the age to go back fags, right? So, and there's no man around, so then you look for them people that look like, they're smoking and they might actually give you a fag, right? Especially man's already been told, right? So you walk there like, excuse me, you got a spare fag, please? No. Chance me. Or sometimes, excuse me, you got a spare fag, please? Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. And if it's like a guy that's legit like, oh, my guy, I don't know. But, like, why am I happy, yeah, to take a cancer stick? Like, what? It's just tapped, man. Just tapped. And then actually, I used to love basketball, but the smoking even got me away from the sport which I love. Listen, I love the ball. I love basketball so much. I'd wake up thinking basketball. I'd sleep thinking basketball. I'd just be at home thinking of my next crossover move. And the buckets I'm gonna be putting on people. But that as well. So, the day of my birthday, I wake up, I'm like, boom. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I must spend my money. For the ones that know what I used to love drinking was Courvoisier. I say I used to love drinking because I don't drink no more. I used to drink because when I used to drink, there was like a void inside me. The drinking, they getting wavy and I felt it. I don't need that void to be filled no more, so I don't need the alcohol anymore. Same thing goes with the weed and all the other substances that I took to fill in something in me which God has filled already. Now, with that being said, that day I woke up, I'm thinking, bro, I didn't even smoke like that, but I'm linking with the mandems. There's definitely gonna be weed about. Let me go buy a deck of fag. Boom. I go into Morrison, and everyone know it's a cognac Courvoisier, right? Listen, I used to drink Courvoisier. Vodka was alright, but vodka just makes man sick or something. But the Courvoisier, I used to drink Courvoisier. So that day I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get myself bottle of Courvoisier. And I see the VS Courvoisier, right? Like, and then I see the VSOP Courvoisier. I'm like, that's the longer distilled one. That's the one. And it was the only one left, so I'm thinking, yeah, it must be a sign in that. Stupid though. So I take the Courvoisier in that, right? Go obviously buy it, come back home, and I'm speaking to my mom, right? And I'm like, alright, cool. So it's my birthday, like, I've been drinking and that, join us some drink. And my mom's like, Mom don't drink, and because she's like a woman of God, right? So she's like, yeah, nope, I don't drink. But that day though, like, my mom's been blessed, and I'll break it down all the time. For the ones that know, they know that like my mom is mad for this, right? Mom, like her dreams, right? Like these are God-given gifts, right? Like it'll have to be explained another time, like the God-given gifts or whatever. But she's got like, when she dreams, my mom sees like, my mom sees when she sleeps, right? In the morning when she's like, oh, Ronnie, I do not know why, but I had a dream where you came back home, you were crying, and because I'm on tag, right? I'm on tag 77. Yes, it's peak, but you get used to it because you start finding out like, that's what I'm just gonna quickly, yeah. No, quickly. Basically, parties and that, right? Used to be gas on me. I used to be all party and that. Oh, my legs. Once you got the tag, you sit at home. The first few times, you seen the snap, and now you see the people enjoy themselves. You're like, and then the party comes on, and you look like, you don't even care no more because you already started doing plans like at home and that. So obviously I'm on tag, right? And she's like, like I see you get home, like you in your dream, you're crying. You're like, on my birthday, they actually gonna bag me on my birthday. This da. And me not seeing anything of it. I'm like, nah, it's them. You know, and I don't know why sometimes I deny my mom's dream, because my mom's had dreams in it, and then it's like she dreams of something, and she comes and tell me, and it's like I know that what she just dreamed is true, and I'm like, I can't even tell you this because I'm just gonna beat myself up. And if I beat myself up, you know how moms are. They're like, I knew you were up to no good in that. So, cool. The phone's about to die, so I had to switch up the position and thing. But cool. So I'm not even thinking nothing of it. I'm like, it's cool. Like, it's not fair. You know, I'm just going out and drink it with my boys, link up, do what we do all the time. And I realized something, yeah. Like, there's time I've realized, like, sometimes you just do things, you put yourself in certain situations just because of, like, the sin you're doing, right? So usually we go pull up, smoke up, just chilling, smoking up and that. And then see that day, right? Oh, cool. See that day, anywho. That day I was meant to like go get a trim and that, right? But the man was like, no, bro, wait, you don't need that trim. You're here finding that. And it's usually like part of me was like, Go get a trim, bruv. Go get your trim. But like they're like, no, you don't need to get a trim. Kick back, just don't need to get a trim or whatever. So I was like, do you know what? Bonnet, I'm not even gonna get a trim. I'm gonna kick back. But when we smoke up and that, then obviously we go about to link up and drink some more, right? So we go out to drink some more and link some more, right? And like I'm gonna bring up a scripture, because one thing I'm gonna say, right? Since God's affected me in my life, like the Bible has never been more real. When I say the Bible has never been more real, I mean the Bible like is literally the truth. Like I see, the thing is, yeah, there's so much that has happened in my life for people to come and say and like whatever. You can say whatever you want, but that is my experience. And let me tell you something. The Bible is the truth. Like bro. It cool. We're drinking, right? We're drinking. Now, I'm looking at around the time, I'm like, raw. At the time, I was feeling a bit wavy still. I'm like, raw. You know? Because normally when you smoke a power, you drink a power, I'm like, raw. Jeez, man. I need to look at this. I need to call this Uber thing, yeah? Because it's my time to go home. Now, as I'm like, it was so weird. The transition was actually so weird. It was. So I'm on my phone, right? And like chilling, whatever. And I'm thinking, bro, cool, I need to go home. When I see a soft thunder hit me. Now, you know when you hear the in the air of the thunder, right? And then, or you've ever seen a lightning bolt strike, right? You could picture that in your head right now. It was that, but it was so powerful, but at the same time so soft. And all I hear is like, oh, this presence so powerful. Like when I mean powerful, understand that it is powerful beyond your understanding and my understanding at the time. And it just came upon me. And all it said was, listen. And like, oh man, oh, the voice itself speaking to you, it puts you at ease, right? So it's like, shh, listen. So now, like, it made me realize many things. Like, see the flesh, right? Like the flesh, the bone, the whatever, yeah. This is literally a vehicle, right? This is literally like a car. It's a vehicle, right? This will not last. Like your spirit within you, everyone has a spirit, and the spirit within you will last forevermore, right? And that'll be for another time that I'm going to explain now, whatever. But when I tell you, like, God's gift, my spiritual senses were awakened to the max. I'm telling you. So the presence telling me, just listen. Shh, listen. My body is still I'm like, see this, right? You see me and I'm just there on my phone, right? I still, till this day, I still don't understand how, like, I'm on my phone scrolling, right? The Uber was playing games. Uber was not answering. I switch up to another like taxi company. They're not answering or nothing. But the maddest of thing is, I am looking on my phone, but I can look like around me, like I could see around me. And I started hearing like the most dark hatred, like intentions. Like I'm not even, it was a bunch of like ha, like, boy, man, I started hearing a lot of like, it's listen, boy, see, when that thunder hit me, no matter how drunk you are, you become sober. You become, not only you become sober, you become more awakened than you've ever been in your life. Ever. I was so sober and so awakened, and I'm hearing stuff, and within me, like, my spirit is like, what? And my face is not showing a single bit of it. And it's like I was in a position where I could see my whole surrounding. I could hear everything, right? And this bring back like to the verse Ephesians 6:12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. And oh boy, when I tell you, like, the things I seen, like now I know people won't believe it. Like it's from what I said. Yeah, you read what I said. You heard what I said. It's demons, right? It's like pretty much what I just said. And like I couldn't even draw or explain to you what I seen, but what I seen was like, what? Like what? What is that? Like what? What is that? What? Like, right? It was just what I seen was actually mental. It was so mad. And then it slowed down like I'm telling you, this whole time I'm in this strong presence, and the presence started to simmer down as I started to understand what's going on. And it tells me it's time to go home. I was like, cool. I come back to myself, or like my body, right? Right now I'm so shocked on whatever. I'm like, cool, it's time. I'm just worrying about me going home, right? Because and it came back to me, my mom's dream, right? So I'm like, oh, like, what? I need to go home. So I'm like, cool. Spot. Man's gone. As I'm going, right? And thank you, Lord. Thank you. As I'm going, right? As I separate myself from like people, as I'm like myself walking, like I start going crazy. I'm sober. See, like we drank beers, we drank beer kovoshi, we smoked beer weed, like it was all gone. When I mean it left my body, I was sober. I was awakening, I was like, what? And I'm walking past, right? And now this voice is like God's voice, right, is guiding me. Like God's voice is guiding me, right? And it's like that was the time, like as I walk home, right? And I think it's so weird because there's people that get baptized, right? You can be baptized through water, but you can be baptized by the Holy Spirit. And then I believe that's the time where I was baptized by the Holy Spirit, because as I was walking, right, what came to me was me as a little kid asking God, like, yo, God, please just speak to me like you spoke to those guys. And then it came to me, and I was like, yo, you never, like, he showed me, right? He showed me, right, how my whole life he was always there. Like, there's many things in your life that you think is luck, or you think it's just coincidence. Oh boy, it's not coincidence. There's heavenly power acting upon your life in ways you do not understand. And that's when God made me understand, like, yo, he was always there. He never once lied to me. And like, do you know, some will be like, oh, but why did it take so long for him to answer your prayer? It's God's work. Like, I don't know. But at the time I didn't even care. I'm like, thank you. Well, that being said, and like, I think one thing, it's not, I think I now know that God listens to the heart. Listen, you could pray, right? You could pray all the days you want. But see, if your prayer is like coming from here, right? Like, not only you have to have, okay, you don't, God gives you the pure heart, right? But it's mad because you could pray and pray from the heart, but if you have evil intent, then it's like literally insults to God, right? Just saying, it's because it's long, right? But all I'm saying is, if you pray from here and your mouth is not connected to your heart, it's like he listens but he cannot act, right? And he made me see that this time I prayed there, like, my heart was connected. And at that time as well, yo, I'm telling you, I was like, God, I accept you. Come into my life, guide me. Like I told you, you never lied to me, so I may not lie to you as well. Like you said, like I told you, I was like, you speak to me like you spoke to them Moses and to them like guys from the Bible, and I will serve you for my whole life. Oh boy, he spoke to me and I was like, that's it. without knowing, oh, oh, you feel this, listen, no matter what angle you hold, no matter, like, you get hit with peace and joy in instant. You don't even understand why you're just so at peace. You're just so at peace. Like, now I'm not talking about people, right? We think that there's real peace, right? Peace of mind and body, where you just, like, there's so much things happening, but you're so at peace that it doesn't even bother you. Like, you're like, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? And there's the piece where, like, you try to tell yourself that it doesn't bother you, but oh boy, within you it bothers you. And that was the piece that I was telling myself I had when I was like, yeah, be positive in that. But I felt true peace. And at the time where I accepted him, it's not only you feel true peace, you feel God's love for you. Now, there's no man on earth that, like, the day you will feel that love, it is beyond, like, your understanding. That love transcends beyond man understanding. Like, you just feel this love and you're like, wow. But then that led to, like, the day after, right? The day after, okay, with that being said, boy, what? From my yard to where I was, yeah, it is like a 20-minute, like, it's not even, if you're walking fast, you can make it in 20 minutes. If you're not walking fast, it's plus than 20 minutes. I had 12 minutes to make it home. Like, before my curfew, but then 12 minutes, but add an extra 5 minutes because I've got, like, an extra 5 minutes after 7 to get home. Boy, I got home fine. That was the mystery of God. And, like, I can't even tell you the time scale, because the time scale just did not make sense. In my head, I was like, yo, like, did you stop time or something for me? Because how... What? But I made home in time and nothing happened. Like, I made home. I'm telling you, I came home. I was crazy. Like, my mom was like, "What? What's up? What's up?" I was just filled with, like, the Holy Spirit within me, man. The day after that, I wake up, but I'm thinking, wow, yesterday was mad. And actually, I don't know, like, I know that the day after that, right, and I woke up, I was like, raw, yesterday was mad. And during my dreams as well, I had bare revelations, like, but I was like, alright, cool, yesterday was mad. Maybe I was stripping, maybe, like, I don't know. And then, do you know that power that felt like, I felt that power was in me, but it wasn't as strong. The presence wasn't as strong as the time when I heard a voice, right? The presence was as strong, but I felt that. And when I tell you, the weeks, or even, I don't even know that, like, everyone that spoke to me or knew me around the time would find out that I isolated myself from everyone, because that was the time God was making wonders in me. He was making me see and understand things beyond this world. And it was like, how should I explain this? It was like my past, right? Like I said in Ephesians 6:12, like, the enemies are the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness, and the host of wickedness. Now, possession is another thing. Like, we'll get onto that, how people can do certain thing and act certain way, but they are just, as I was, blind, right? Like, they just cannot see. And although you may think you see, and you may think that you can't, you're blind, right? And that's what I understood. With that being said, he made me see, literally, like, went back my life on the amount of times the enemy, or the works of the principalities or enemies, acting upon my life, and how he just uprooted it. Like, other testimony is gonna have to be an other testimony. But when I tell you, wow, God is good. And then it's like, like my life just changed after that, because it'll even be like, I'm on a bus, right, and I'm seeing, and I'm just being spiritually awakened by God, thank God. But I'm in a bus, right, and everything in the bus is moving a bit mad. I'm thinking, yo, it is in my head that I'm going crazy, right? Cool. But then, the crazy thing is, no matter how much you think you're going crazy, like, it's see, for anyone here that's new and it's scary. At the start, I'm gonna tell you it's scary because you don't understand it. But then God makes it in a way where you don't even have to be scared, because He understands. He's like that's your birthright. Because once you accept God within you, you are reborn in Christ, right? And certain things that you now understand are your birthrights, and which I didn't understand, but now I do understand. And it's like, I'm still on the bus, right? Something's happened, right? Now I'm like, I can't be, I'm tripping. And then within me is telling me, oh, you think you're tripping? Boy, look down. Look, like, you're on the bus, right? And you're like, look down. I bet you in 3 seconds, that person turn around and look at you. I'm like, okay, you're chatting West. What? I'm like, whoa, yo. And then it was like that, and it just builds up and get too good, man. It's too good. Listen, oh man, God's presence in your life is absolutely like, it's mad though, because I'm so happy that it was me that He acted upon in this position, because like, my life, the way I was living and the way I was guided, many people looked at my life, and like, many people would be shocked to even listen to this, like, what? Like, that's not even Rodney, man. What? Like, Rodney, that was doing da 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 da. That was even, oh, actually, I didn't even get onto the drill, man. That was pain as well. Like, my drill songs, I was gas at the time, right? But it's like, what I understand is, see, the thing is, yeah, it's so hard. Like, people say, oh, but like, I can't technically do. First of all, I'm not gonna do drill, because that is me pretty much proclaiming and glorifying all these murderous intent and all these. That's sorry, done. But at the same time, is at the time how I felt that pain, that anger within me, that I exposed it out in my lyricism, or in my music, or in my drill video, my drill music, and whatever. That was me pouring out my heart at the time in the songs that I wrote or rapped, right? But then, like, my heart is so much at peace, and it's so chilled right now. Like, I couldn't even go like, ooh, or like, because see, when you, like, for the ones that heard me spit drill at the time, there's a certain conviction that you hear when the words come out, because it comes from the heart. I always do it from the heart. You get me? But it comes from the heart. But now, my heart ain't got no pain. My heart ain't got no heat. My heart ain't got none of that. So I can't pull up to you and try, because it just, first of all, I'm not gonna do it. Nah. But second of all, it just wouldn't work. So, and like, even after that, man, I'm telling you, see, if you're living in sin and you're doing sin, or you're drinking, smoking, and whatever, and you think that it's human, right? And you think that by your own strength, oh, you could stop this, you could. No, you can't. Listen, I used to smoke weed. I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna stop weed. For 3 months, I stopped weed. Someone asked me, like, oh, bro, do you want to? I'm like, next thing you know, like, oh yeah, pass. Boom. Next thing you know, I'm smoking weed again. It takes a power beyond you to help you stop. Do you get me? And in a way where like I can see alcohol, right? But I have no will to drink it. I'm like, why would I drink this poison, in which, like, I used that because of how I felt then. That made me feel good. But I feel good, so I don't need that. I just don't need it. See, and it's like, just when he was working for me, right? Boom. Like, there's this guy I'm walking past, and he's smoking weed, right? He's enjoying his joint and that. And he looks at me, and like all weed smokers, he looks at me and does a little. I was like, me, the thing is, I was so used to the smell of weed. Oh man, every time I speak of it, I just get the gags, right? Sorry. I was so used to the smell of weed, right? Even I'd be in a room, right? Hotbox the room, and you smell bare weed. I'm telling you, I walked past the smell of weed, and I just wanted to, like, vomit. Like I just wanted to, like, man, I even feel it right now. It's not, even thinking of it, I just wanted to, like, and I realized that, like, all the things which I did, or all the sins which I did, like, man, like, all my sins were forgiven that day. So it was only normal for them to, like, be removed or moved away from me, or whatever you want to call it, because, yeah, like, I don't see nothing in weed no more, you know. I don't see nothing in, like, just sin no more. And, like, I could go more depth into how I realized, like, man, one of the biggest things, yeah, I let you know, and I'm gonna be straight up, you know. I'm gonna be raw. Good joke, pun intended. I'm gonna be raw just because I'm just want to be real. Like, no cap, I just want to be real. Like, so one thing that I'm so happy I was delivered from was porn addiction. Yes, you heard me, porn addiction. But it wasn't so much as porn addiction. It was like sexual impurity, as in, like, for the girls who, you know, I don't, and for any girl that spoke to in that way, or got with in that way, like, you just know that, like, I was all about my freaky shit, or my, like, my whatever I felt then was like cool. But what I didn't realize how much it affected me, because I just had so much sexual impurity within me. And it was like, do you know, any guys, yeah, and this is for the guys as well, big guys know this one, and it's like, boom, we go through, like, masturbation as well, like, but it's all included, right? I was delivered from that, because I can't even, like, do you know, the will, right, in busting or not, like, is mad, like, because you've actually, yeah, and it's so normal to us that you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna prepare, get my tutu liquid in that, look down, and then just do my thing. But then a lot of guys, like, that have experienced this, and listen, no cap, because I know a few guys I spoke with and said the same thing. Is those time where you bust bare, and there's time where, like, you don't even want to bust anymore, but you still bust, or there's time you bust and then you feel bare bad after it. You understand? It's because it's certain powers that are beyond your understanding. Like, how can you really bust, right? You decide to bust, and after you bust, feel bare bad for what you just done, because you know what you're doing ain't even right, fam. It's not right for you to be spending bare hours, or not even much bare hours, but do you even spend any time just having your hand and just mashing up listen, I'm gonna be so raw with it, because sometimes, like, the guys know, you mash up with one hand, that one hand tired, you switch up. Do you get me? Just madness. Like, that was, like, so how sexual and pure I was also. But thank to God, like, that just got swept away. Like, swept away in a way where, like, yo, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, some girl be looking nice, but see, it's my mind. Back then, right, I look at a girl, I'm thinking, oh, see if I chat to this one, but yeah. Now I'm like, she look nice, God bless, yo. She got it done wrong, God just bless him. But the like, the filthy thoughts within my mind just aren't no more. And yeah, but yeah. So although I spoke and just been real with y'all, you know what I mean? Seeing if I have anything else which I added over here that I may want to share with you before mine's call it quits, and, like, you know what I mean? See, so obviously for all the sins and everything, I've got two scriptures now. Listen, I'm not better than you. Like, one thing, like, I've learned to humble myself, that what God did for me in my life is not any different. He's not any different than any person. He loves his creation accordingly. Like, no matter what sin, or no matter what down the road or down the path of life you've went down, and you think that, yeah, God's don't forgive about me, like, forgot about me, whatever. Listen, he loves you. The thing is, yeah, is when he knocks into your heart, open it. And it will change your life in ways where you're going to be like, raw. And I actually really hope that my testimony right now, wherever you are, is touching you, man. That is hitting your heart and you're realizing that, like, yeah, yo, there's a few things that's been happening in my life that are quite mad. Or God is knocking. And it's time for me to just answer. And just live the best life he has for me. Do you get me? And boom. Where the scripture said, Colossians 1, chapter 1:13 says, he has delivered us from the powers of darkness and conveyed us into the kingdom of the Son of his love. Boy, I feel his love. And yeah, man, all the sin and all of that, just he said to them, Mark 16:15-16 says, he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned. Now that's the scriptures. That might hit some of y'all deep, but that's the scriptures. And hey. So, with that being said, like, much love, man. Like, do you know what? And I understand one thing is, boy, do you know, I don't even know one I've never done. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, this is gonna be bare hitting that. But man, don't care, yo. What? See all them testimony and all the stories I got bagged up. All the stories that of my life that were just mad. And you didn't know me then when my life was mad. And you gonna say something and expect it to affect me. I'ma do this. I'm like, yeah. Oh, you mad? Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. That's my life. That's my story. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. Anywho, much love to everyone, whoever you are, wherever you are. The minute you're watching this, I really hope that it's touched you. I really hope that it's enlightened you in ways where you want to seek God and you want to do better for yourself. And yeah, man, that was it. Much love. Peace.